we continue this, Mr. President?
There's more. Now,
Somebody else?
under 14, under Rules of Order, on our agenda, we have prayer, pledge, open session. And I think that's what really kicked this off, was the open session. Right now, we limit it to 15 minutes, maximum 15 minutes, under the Open Meetings Act 42-46. And the comments were made that we should allow as many people as necessary to speak. And I agree to that to some extent. And so I offer a compromise, maybe to, number one, we have to add that. It would become the new C, it would become open forum, because that's what we do. We have an audience. It doesn't have a time limit in totality. So you could have 10 speakers speak, 3 minutes per speaker. Put a limit, not a time limit on the meeting, but a time limit on the amount that the speaker can speak. This is what they do at the State House. It's kind of what's recommended around this rule of order. Right there. No more limit at not 15 minutes. It's 3 minutes per speaker. That's what I'm at.
I'm sorry, what did you say that?
It's in number 14. It's not listed. It's not listed.
there.
It's not there. It's not there under our order of business. What we do. It's one of those things we have.
There's a motion to say that Mr. Quincy, does he want to withdraw that motion? No? Executive session under one council person?
He's waiting for them.
You want that language right now?
No,
Oh.
no, I'm going to put you on the spot like that.
So
So I'm going to withdraw, but we're going to continue this to another meeting.
I have the language.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
It's number 14. We don't have anything, but it's on our agenda. And it's,
So I can say that, we sit here and say 15 minutes, and there are many times where there's no public comment, and depending on the issues, we have a lot of folks come up. And I think we've extended the past 15 minutes if a lot of people wanted to speak. Everybody was heard at least once. I think one of the issues too, that if there's 15 minutes and there's only one person that wishes to speak, we have a lot to contribute. I have no problem listening to someone speak for 15 minutes if they have contribution they wish to make. I think that was part of the reason that came up too. Much to the detriment of previous council members, they would allow people to go on and on. But I have to say, that's what we're here for. And when I say go on and on, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, they have things that they wish to express, and I'll sit there and listen to them. And I gotta tell you, many a time I've changed my thought process by listening to them. So, I just don't want to limit people's input.
well, I think as a group, we need to do it one way or the other. We need to limit the total time that we did, but we need to limit the time that each speaker gets. I think we need to do one or the other.
Mr. President, I would just make a recommendation that you do both, but subject to extension. You want the public to know that the open forum is going to be expected to be 15 minutes. They can look at the agenda. You don't want the public coming in and thinking open forum could be an hour, unless that's what you want. If you want it to be an hour, say it's going to be an
When
hour.
circumstances dictate, we can extend it.
But put in there a time frame for open forum that can be extended upon majority vote, and pick a number for per speaker that can be extended. So obviously, if one speaker is speaking, you could vote to extend it. But if you've got 100 speakers, you may want to say 1 minute apiece. 100. I'm just giving you an absurd. We have to have 100 speakers, but I think you want to provide both the time limit for both, with some provision for expansion.
But wouldn't you just adjust it based on the number of people that want to speak? So if it's 15 minutes and there's 10 people, you would adjust it accordingly, versus if there was one person.
You could do that.
I mean, I don't see the harm in that myself. I mean, I know.
You could do that.
I guess I'm having a hard time, when you first brought it up, Mr. President, I had a hard time getting at the 3 minutes. Because people go up there and they speak. It's tough to go up there and speak, I know. And I just, if someone wants to talk about a topic, I don't think we should be limiting them to an extent. If there's a bunch of people that have signed up, I agree, we should keep it reasonable. We don't need to be here for 3 hours listening. But I think we can also look at how much of that discussion is maybe towards certain items on the agenda even. And do we want to open it up then and say, reserve all comment until we get to a section of the agenda? That way, we're not clogging up the public open forum session piece, and we're allowing that those residents who want to say something to a specific item can speak to that specific item.
You're actually raising the point that I wanted to make, Mr. President, that I think open forum has two aspects to it. Comment on items on your agenda, so that's one item. But then, when new items are brought up in open session where it's not on the agenda, you have a right to go back and forth, but it's probably more appropriate to say, let's schedule that at a hearing at another meeting, because it's not on the agenda, the council doesn't have any information, nobody has any, it's being brought up out of the blue, so to speak. And that's where I think most open forums get, unwieldy, because the agenda item is not before you, so there's no documentation, there's no preparation, it's just an issue brought up from somebody's point of view. It seems to me it should be put on as an agenda item in the future.
I'm just trying to mirror it on what other boards do, go to the state legislature. Doesn't matter how many people, doesn't matter how many people.
It's only about that item. Open forum at the State House is 3 minutes per speaker on the item on the agenda. It is not 3 minutes per speaker for whatever you want. That's not what it is.
I understand that, but that's what I'm looking at though, is that you go to a committee meeting, it's on a specific thing, you make comments, 2 minutes per speaker. It's not, you get 10 minutes and you get 3 minutes and you get 2 minutes. It's equal, it's uniform for everybody. Now, it's great that we can get people to sign up. I've been hesitant to put on a list, but I think it's not treating people like adults. They know we have 15 minutes to speak for however many number of people we want to speak. I don't like making them sign their list. They can come up and speak. Just because they don't put their name on a list, does that mean that we don't let them speak under the open forum? We need to allow them to speak under the open forum. And that's happened where they haven't had that opportunity because we ran out of time. That's why I'm trying to put either no time limit on the overall forum and a time limit on the speakers. If it's that big of an issue that you need 15 minutes, put it on the agenda. Ask us to put it on the agenda, and we'll put it as an agenda item to be discussed. Because 9 out of 10 times, we can't discuss what's being put out at us, because it could be a violation of the Open Meetings Act. We're discussing something that's not on the agenda.
Well,
there's a ruling out there that's it happened in Woonsocket.
It can't be brought up by the council, but the law is clear that if a public member brings up something to the council, you have a right to respond to that item. But you're right, the council cannot bring up something unless but you have a right to amend your agenda on the spot, discuss any item. You just can't vote on it. So there's lots of things going on here, but I think getting back to the public forum, I think you just need to decide how you want to manage the time. I don't know what the reasonable amount of time is. It depends on how many people want to speak.
You don't
know.
I think that, I don't know. I think 5 minutes would be more than adequate for people to tell me what they need to tell me. But I don't want to cut them off after 15 minutes. That if there are 10 people and whether you do 3 to 5 minutes and now we're 15 minutes and now you say that's it, the meeting begins, I'd rather see the meeting continue and possibly go to a half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, whatever it may be, to let the people speak. But I would like to set a limit, 3 to 5 minutes for each speaker.
I think that's what the president was saying, that not a limit on the total time, but a limit on the...
And you have to take into consideration, a lot of times you'll have a group that's repetitious. One goes up, the other says he's right, he goes up, and you have about a half an hour, and it's all the same thing. And then we've seen a few meetings Now, this wasn't on a certain topic, under good and welfare. I look at the people here, and all of a sudden, there's 150 people, of which only 15 are taxpayers in this town, and are voters in this town. And it takes up all the time. So unless, like you say, it is on the docket, then I think we should say, thank them for their concern, and say if you'd like to put it on, and then we'll address it, because then we will be prepared to vote.
I'll just say this, I'm sorry.
Just a point of order, Mr. Ryan. You don't have to be a taxpayer. You don't have to be a resident of this community.
Oh, I
or a
remember
resident of
you
the
don't have
country
to know.
to come and speak on the open forum.
Absolutely.
We have to allow everybody to speak. The issue that we're discussing and what's a reasonable amount of time. Because we need to treat, everybody gets the same reasonable amount of time. Because we have business to attend to too. And so that falls into part of the play.
Then it has to be
The total
consistent.
time and the speaker time, because it needs to be a reasonable amount of time, but everybody has to be treated equally. And then we need to figure out what's a reasonable time so we can take care of our business that we have to take care of.
I'll go with 3, if there's no one else, 5 minutes, and again, asking them to put it on the agenda, so it will be consistent. It's not 15 minutes one time, we need consistency.
Mr. Simpson?
One of the, again, I'm just thinking, I didn't know what the issue was on me tonight, but maybe the answer, Mr. President, is to have a list and have a limit of both time and for speaker and for the forum, and then when you get the list, it's subject to, based upon the list, the council can take an action to extend both.
Time.
So all of a sudden you get a list of 50 people, you know it's not gonna happen in 15 minutes. You get that list and you make a motion at that time. I'm just trying to find something in between, because the council can change this rule any time, at any meeting, by a majority vote, but we're not.
But you don't want to be changing the rules every week.
I agree.
Otherwise, we would just throw this away.
But if you put in the rule that once you have a list of speakers, determination we made with regard to the rule for time per speaker and time of the open forum. If you had 50 people, you want to take a motion to extend the open forum, as Councilman only said, to 30 minutes or an hour or 15 minutes. I mean, how many minutes you give them? If you give them 5 minutes per person, that'd be
Long night.
clearly a discretion of the council.
Mr. Clifford,
Yeah, can I just kind of...
please come to the podium.
Sure.
Please. And before you stop, Mike, I want you to be brief. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. This was never a problem until you became the president of the council, and you imposed a new rule. In the past, even with Mr. Beauregard, who I didn't see eye to eye on many issues, but I thought his ruling was fair, or as far as it could be. There was a 15-minute time limit for good and welfare. People signed up on the sheet. If there were 5 people, everybody got 3 minutes. If there were more than 5 people, and it wasn't enough to afford everybody at least 3 minutes, then it was extended. And if there was only one person who wanted to speak and he had 15-minute good and welfare, he gave him the 15-minute good and welfare. That's the way it was with him. That's the way it was with the previous council presidents. As long as they've been coming to the meetings, there's never been a major issue about it. It was when you said, then you came to the decision that every speaker is going to be given just 3 minutes, and then you have 12 minutes left over, and you still didn't want to hear it. I mean, that's when you set that type of rule up hard and fast like that. That's when you run into problems. What he just suggested is basically what previous council presidents were doing. And some of you were on there when they did it. And Paul, you've been there when there were 30 people signed up. They extended the time for good and welfare so that at least every speaker had at least 3 minutes. But I mean, that's the way he worked it. Signed up the sheet, the president counted how many there was, said, okay, we have 5 speakers, announced it at the beginning of the meeting, that'll be 3 minutes per speaker. If there's 1 speaker, you have 15 minutes. I thought it was fair, nobody was complaining, and wasn't a big issue about it. And it worked.
Take it one step further, if it's just one person that signed up and they spoke for 10 minutes, previous councils would say, is there anybody else who wishes to speak
Who
for
didn't
5
sign
minutes?
up?
Yeah, didn't have to sign up, just come up and identify yourself.
You said it, Mrs. Zelinski, and I've seen times where you've gone an hour on the good welfare with 3, maybe 4 speakers sometimes.
I personally,
You were on the board.
yeah, where you said I did.
With good, no,
I sat there.
you sat there on the board when good welfare would go on for an hour.
Mhm.
Or the open forum would go on for an hour. There was no limit to it.
Controversial issues.
Very controversial, we had some very nasty people who get up and speak.
Understand?
But that doesn't apply to anybody in this room that I'm aware of. We took some verbal abuse many a time sitting up here, and at some point, council president said, enough, we have to stop. And that's just common sense. So, I've been here, I don't know if it was three speakers for an hour, but I've been here where we listened to the public, voice their concerns. I gotta tell you, when I ran for office, I always said I need to listen to the people. So if I may, Mr. President, if I may, we've had some recommendations. If I may make a motion to continue this and ask the solicitor to try to get the language a little different for us on this, make some suggestions, and we can revisit it at our next council meeting.
Councilman, is there any other suggestions?
I think that was what drove it the last time to put it on.
And we don't really get a sense, I'm still hearing different points of view from different council people.
I mean, I'm comfortable with the 3 to 5 minutes. If there's nobody signed up and there's one speaker, I look at it as you should have 5 minutes and then let's get the meeting started.
That's what I'm leaning toward.
If
I'm leaning toward a limit on the per speaker. You want to let everybody speak, that's okay. But each speaker is limited. Take out the 15-minute time limit, just put open forum, each speaker is allowed X amount of time. And they'll all know that going into it.
If it's an agenda item, yes. If it's not an agenda item, we still listen to them and then we put it on the next agenda because it's not on the agenda and we need to get a little bit more prepared.
Or we would put on the agenda if it was a request, we put on the agenda.
Well, they would
Just because the comments are made.
Yeah, they would have to
doesn't mean it.
request. Okay, I'd like to see this on the agenda. Well, we got to be very careful with that too, because that can snowball.
I mean, that's why the agenda is ultimately controlled by the council, not by the public. Otherwise, you're going to be.
We'll consider putting it on the agenda.
I can come up with some versions, different versions, like Michelle's, I'm just not sitting here clearly understanding which one you want, but I'll come up with a couple of versions.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask this is just about the executive session thing. Is it, so if executive session is decided to start, say, at 6:45 or whatever we started at, and it has to be the first agenda item, can we put, like, anticipated start of the, because I know some communities do executive session, and then when they come out, they do open forum, and they kick off their meeting. Is it possible to advertise when that time is expected, or is that, I know they fluctuate, but is there like a way to give some type of indication?
We've tried to do it that way, Councilman. The problem is sometimes you go into executive session, you think it's going to be 5 minutes and it turns into a half hour or sometimes even longer. And then you got people out here waiting for open forum. That's why we've been doing open forum. At least my understanding is we've been doing open forum first so the public who wants to speak, it's not a public hearing on anything, get to speak. And then we go take care of executive session. A lot of the time, it is items where there are people that get called in to come into executive session. Several times have been, experts, lawyers that get paid, and we don't want them sitting through the meeting. But it's up to that's your decision, it's your budget. But that's the reason why executive session has been put in after open forum or before the meeting starts. If you want to put it at the end, unless I want to give you some language that says at the end of the agenda, unless is good reason. I'm not gonna say what that reason is, because I don't know what it might be. It might be money.
Reasonable.
Something else. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just curious.
We're going to take a 3-minute recess.